Epstein got $150 million. For what exactly? That is the kind of question that keeps people wondering. And that is exactly where this wild conversation between Joe Rogan and former CIA officer Mike Baker begins. From secret surveillance in luxury mansions to intelligence agencies protecting elites, this episode goes deep. Add in Biden's decline, hidden files, blackmail operations, and mysterious camera glitches, and you have a full-blown intelligence thriller playing out in real life. Here are 10 takeaways you need to hear. Takeaway 1. The money behind Epstein. One of the most shocking moments in the podcast is when they talk about billionaire Leon Black paying Jeffrey Epstein $150 million over 5 years. What makes it even more disturbing is that this happened after Epstein was already a convicted sex offender. According to reporting, Epstein was supposedly giving financial advice, but real experts like Eric Weinstein said Epstein had no real financial skill. So what was he really being paid for? That question leads to a darker place. Mike Baker explains that in intelligence work, large unexplained payments can be a sign of blackmail or leverage. If someone has damaging information about a wealthy or powerful person, money often becomes the tool to keep that information hidden. In this case, it looks less like consulting and more like payoff. And if that is true, it makes the Epstein network not just disgusting, but deeply connected to systems of power. Takeaway 2. Epstein case was suppressed. Joe Rogan and Mike Baker go deep into how the Epstein investigation was quietly buried. Ghislaine Maxwell was convicted, but almost no one else faced consequences. The list of Epstein's clients is still hidden. Mike points out that the Department of Justice never even interviewed Maxwell until very recently, years after her trial. This is not how high-profile criminal networks usually get handled. Normally, investigators would go after every possible person connected to the crime. But with Epstein, the trail stopped short. That missing client list is not just a detail. It is the core of the entire case. It would show who the victims were trafficked to. By keeping it sealed, the system is protecting someone. Maybe many people. Takeaway 3. Blackmail is a powerful weapon. Blackmail is one of the oldest tools in espionage, and this episode makes it clear that it is still very much alive. Mike Baker explains how agencies sometimes gather compromising material to gain control over individuals. This could be done through recorded conversations, secret videos, or even financial records. The key is having something that person desperately wants to keep hidden. With Epstein, the possibility of hidden cameras throughout his properties makes everything even darker. If those tapes exist, they would give whoever controls them incredible power. You could influence elections, silence whistleblowers, or destroy careers with just one leak. In this world, blackmail is not just dirty, it is strategic. Takeaway 4. Media protects the powerful. Joe and Mike do not hold back when talking about how media fails the public. They point out how outlets like NPR and major newspapers will selectively ignore or twist stories based on political agendas. Mike shares examples where journalists avoided covering the Epstein case properly or failed to ask the obvious questions. In one part, they talk about how the CEO of NPR once said that truth can be a distraction. That is a terrifying thing to hear from someone leading a news organization. When the media acts like a shield instead of a spotlight, the public stays in the dark, and the powerful stay protected. Takeaway 5. Intelligence shields the elite. Mike Baker shares insights from his years in the CIA, and one key truth stands out. Intelligence operations are not always about catching bad guys. Sometimes they are about managing narratives and protecting useful assets. That means certain people are considered too important to expose. In Epstein's case, there is reason to believe he may have been useful to more than one intelligence agency. Whether that was the CIA, Mossad, or someone else, the point is the same. If he had tapes or files on world leaders, scientists, or billionaires, he could be seen as valuable, not as a criminal to prosecute, but as a tool to control others. We're halfway through the video. Thanks for sticking with us. If you're enjoying it, hit the thumbs up and share it in your WhatsApp groups. If you'd like to support us, please tap the thanks button below. It helps us keep making great content. Drop a comment and don't forget to hit subscribe for more. Now let's continue with the video. Takeaway 6. Elites never face justice. There is a strong theme in this episode that justice works differently for the powerful. Mike and Joe discuss how average citizens get punished for minor offenses, but elites skate free. They mention how powerful people from politics and finance are often left untouched even when their names come up in major scandals. The Epstein case is one example. The financial crash of 2008 is another. And the same thing happens in both parties. It is not about left or right. It is about being in the club. And when you are in the club, the rules do not apply. Takeaway 7. Surveillance is used for control. We often think surveillance is used to keep people safe. But in this episode, we learn that sometimes it is used to gain control. Mike talks about how intelligence agencies use hidden cameras and listening devices not just to find threats, but to build influence. The example he gives from a U.S. embassy in Moscow is chilling. Russian contractors secretly installed bugs into the rebar of the building during construction. That is how deep surveillance can go. With Epstein's properties, the idea of hidden cameras comes up again. And if that surveillance was used to record people doing illegal things, it becomes a tool for manipulation, not safety. Takeaway 8. Biden's health is off limits. Another major issue discussed is how President Biden's health has been handled. Joe and Mike talk about how his decline was obvious to many, but no one in the administration wanted to speak about it. His mental and physical fitness were shielded, and some of the people involved even pleaded the fifth when questioned. There is a moment where they talk about Biden possibly being on sleep medication like Ambien before a debate. That makes people wonder who is really in charge. If a leader's condition is hidden from the public, then the people are not truly choosing who leads them. They are just watching a performance. Takeaway 9. Trust in leaders is collapsing. Throughout the episode, there is a growing feeling that people no longer trust the system. Whether it is government, media, or law enforcement, the public feels like they are being lied to. And it is not paranoia. It is pattern recognition. Every time a powerful person escapes consequences or a big story gets buried, trust takes another hit. Mike says that the people he knows inside the intelligence world feel this too. They are frustrated by how bad actors make the whole system look corrupt. When trust is gone, people stop caring about rules. And that is when things fall apart. Takeaway 10. Systems are reaching a breaking point. The final part of the conversation looks at how all of these problems connect. Corruption, media failure, blackmail, and cover-ups are not isolated problems. They are signs of a deeper breakdown. Joe and Mike talk about how many young people today are turning to extreme ideas because they feel shut out of the future. They cannot buy homes, they are crushed by debt, and they do not believe anyone is looking out for them. So when they hear that the government lies or that elites are untouchable, it just confirms what they already feel. The danger is not just political. It is emotional. When people lose hope, they stop participating. And that weakens the foundation of everything. What starts as a story about a dead financier quickly turns into a map of how power works in the shadows. From secret intelligence tactics to media complicity to public disillusionment, this conversation with Mike Baker is a crash course in how modern corruption hides in plain sight. If you felt like something has always been off about how certain people stay protected, now you know why. The real question is, now that you know, what are you going to do with it? Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support this channel, hit the thanks button below. It really helps us keep going. If you enjoyed this summary, please leave a like and share it in your WhatsApp groups. To join discussion about this video, drop a comment below. And for more videos like this, hit the subscribe button below.